Papendal, the Netherlands, plays host to the third round of the UCI BMX Supercross World Cup Series.
I really like this race, Papendal, Holland. Last time I was here, I got my second podium, and we've come here for a few camps since then, so learnt the track a little bit more. There's only been a few minor little changes. We've got a new first turn, so overall I'm looking forward to this track. They always put on a good venue, and there's a big crowd and good hype, which I like.
I think Papendal fits my riding style well. I like big, wide open tracks. Last year, this was my first World Cup main I ever made, so I've always had some good memories here, and I'm looking for another good weekend.
3 rounds in now, and sort of getting to the crunch time as far as the series is concerned, and also as far as, you know, Olympic selection. So this one being just 2 weeks out from World Championships as well, it's a pretty big race, you know, just you want to go into the Worlds on a high, but also you want to have something in reserve, so to speak, for that race as well.
It's the last race before, you know, the 2 biggest events of the year with the Worlds and the Olympics. On any given day, there'll be 10 guys that have a chance to win, and it just comes down to who handles the pressure better and who puts themselves in the right position.
The track is a lot more simple than it was last year. You know, the third straight is a lot more tame, and I feel like a good start and, you know, good leg speed down the first straight, and I could definitely be in the final contending.
Papendal is the last World Cup event before the tour moves to the World Championships in Birmingham and then on to the Olympic Games in London. This is the last World Cup event where riders can bring home crucial Olympic qualification points.
As the third stop in the World Cup Series this year, it's huge to me. You know, it's part of the Olympic points chase.
This year, like, you know, like I've said it before, it's all about the Worlds and Olympics this year, you know, it's no secret.
We've been doing so many Olympic qualifying races the last couple of years, and there's been a lot of stress, so this is kind of like the final push, you know, the icing on the cake.
The competition's so deep at the moment, anyone can win a race. I just want to go as far as I can in the sport. I just want to give it everything I've got and not die wondering. Out of all elite sports, it would have to be up there with, you know, the most, I guess, top guys week in, week out that are always there battling.
The track here at Papendal was remodeled to resemble the actual Olympic track in London, including the difficult hip jump, which provided the riders with some valuable pre-game practice.
This round's going to be up there. I feel pretty confident coming in. I won here last year. It's a big wide open track. I prefer those over the short and indoor tracks like Norway was. I tried to fine-tune everything and get ready for this one, and I think everything's on point.
I enjoy it. I'd prefer the big outdoor fast open tracks like Chula Vista and this one as well. Norway, that wasn't a track that I would have thought suited me, hence me coming from behind in the main and coming back to take the win. So coming into this track, this is definitely more my style, and it's given me a lot more confidence.
I think this race last year was probably a turning point for me, and really sort of got into a lot more just backing myself, working with Wade, my coach, and just making sure that I really believe that I can be here and can be up the front.
For sure, winning Norway was my most satisfying. I just heard so long people saying, oh, he's only fast at Chula Vista, he can't win anywhere else, and it was just really gratifying to win that race and to just kind of put my name out there and prove that I was for real.
Anybody on any given day in BMX could, you know, win, but definitely there's some top girls that have been doing well this year. You know, Caroline's been winning, you know, time trial and won the last race, and Magalee's always up there.
For me, it's a big family. It's to ride with your heart. It's to have fun on the track.
Time trials are staged to whittle down the field to 64 men and 32 women.
Well, you know, the expectations, like always, I just want to make it through the days all right, you know, get a good time trial to start off with, and then keep it rolling into racing and get in the final and go for a podium once I'm there.
Connor Fields, who won both the first and second World Cups, came out on top of the field with a time of 38.979.
You got to make it out of time trials before you can even consider racing. And, you know, if you're, especially at a track here, if you're not 100% concentrated and focused in a time trial, it'll eat you alive. So I got to make it through that first, and then just one lap at a time on race day. And I have the same goal every event, and that's make the final and put yourself in a position to have a chance to win.
Overall, I'm really excited. Last year was a huge learning year for me, and pretty much last year was made a few mistakes and wanted to just clean them all up this year and eliminate them. So far that's what I've been doing, and being a bit more consistent. Norway didn't have the best skates, managed to clean them up here this weekend. So puzzles coming together.
Australia's Caroline Buchanan took the top spot for the women. After the time trials, the top 64 men and 32 women took it to the top of the hill for the qualification rounds to see the field cut in half.
I'd struggle more in practice than I do in a final, that's for sure. When it's racing time and the pressure's on, it's just a matter of racing. When practice is going on, your mind's all over the place and you're thinking about different things. Just need to create that pressure from Moto 1.
If you have a bad race at one race, no one will remember that you won the two before it. Obviously, I only won the last event by .002, so I can improve that a little bit.
You know, leading up to this race, preparing, you know, I'm writing on my notepad, like, you love Papendal, you love riding in the wind. All things I don't like doing, just preparing every day for this race.
There's that core group of guys that seem to be there every weekend and, you know, through thick and thin, whether they're having a bad weekend or not, they always find a way to put themselves in that main and make themselves a threat.
Your body knows what to do and you just kind of have fun with it. I mean, there's nothing more fun than hammering down the ramp with 8 other guys around you.
The elite men run 8 heats, each with 3 runs. Points accumulate with the top 4 from each group qualifying through.
Well, yesterday it was real windy. Like, the headwind down the second straight was pretty tricky, so that's kind of dropped off. So that's made the track a lot easier, and it's kind of flowing a bit better. So it's pretty good at the moment.
Yeah, it's feeling good. Starting to find my groove. Getting out down the first straight. I think that's where I'm making up a lot of my time and just lay it down and then kind of hang on from there. I'm surprised at that time because I hung up a lot on the third straight.
I got a lot of family coming to this race, and most of them never see me racing, so it definitely gave me a boost to ride today. And it's my home track, train here a lot, and race with everything I got in me.
Yeah, definitely the start of the week had a little bit of a breeze and the coldness, but definitely this morning's been great. A little bit of overcast coming now, and everyone's looking good. The main thing is getting the work done when we need to do it, and just providing the support services for the riders so they can actually do their job best.
The men's qualification rounds witnessed a few upsets, and the top 32 riders continued on to the quarterfinals. Then it was on to the women's qualifiers.
I'm always just, focusing on those lights, my breathing, just little cues that I use to myself and put me in the right zone and, just make it feel like every other gate.
When I'm on the hill, I try not to think too much. I just have a few keywords for that, either that race or that particular track and what I need to do, and just simplify everything so that I can just ride my bike.
When there's good crowd and good atmosphere, that's really what I thrive on, and I get into the zone and into the mood, and once it's race time, definitely my switch flicks and I'm ready to go.
Americans Brooke Crane and Elise Post showed us a glimpse of what was to come in their heats. Together with the rest of the top 16, they both moved on to the semi-finals.
I like very much the track because it's a lot of jump and not a lot of speed. I like it. I haven't difficulty. It's just do it.
It's one of the longest laps for sure on the World Cup circuit, and with the wind and the conditions, if you don't get a smooth lap, it makes it even harder.
What I kind of try to do is, for the week or so leading up to the event, be as chilled out as possible and don't get pumped up for anything for a week, so that way I'm kind of going stir crazy, and on race day I don't even need to think about anything and I'm instantly pumped up and ready to go.
when I'm walking up the hill for a moto, a quarter, a semi, or the final, I just try and approach it like any other race. I mean, we've trained our bodies over and over to do what we want them to do, so I just try and have fun throughout the day, and it's been working well for me.
On race day, I'm able to flick that switch because that's where I want to be, and I kind of just put that costume on for the day, I guess, and be that person and try to be successful.
All I concentrate on is just that first beep, hearing the beep, snapping as hard as I can, getting a good drive out. I try not to think about anything else apart from the gate.
Straight into the first of the quarterfinals for the men. Some of the guys that you expect to be up front, right, aren't up there right now.
Favorite Connor Fields gets closed out of his quarterfinal.
Kaylin Young goes from first to fifth in a blink of an eye.
Kaylin Young suffers the same fate in the second round.
As we get ready for the next of the quarterfinals, another stacked house.
It's amazing to see how strong Mara Stromberg is today. He's going to take home this win.
So the gate is down. It looks like Mike Day did get a good gate start from that outside. Tuan Von Gent, Nick Long, and Mike Day are going to move on the program.
Today, just from the time I woke up, just really wasn't as sharp as I usually am. And I was just distracted and a bit fatigued, so just I messed up.
A lot of girls who are in the mix, and I'd say there's a good solid 6 girls who can be on the top of that podium.
When I am on the gate, I feel good. In my head, I have nothing. Just do it.
I like being amped. I like having my hands shaking on the gate and feeling 100% ready to go.
The gate goes down and it looks like Letitia's gonna have a good start, but next to her, she's gonna have Caroline Buchanan.
Semi 1 saw Australian Caroline Buchanan taking the hole shot.
So Caroline Buchanan, silky smooth style of getting around this track. Up front, it's going to be her and Letitia. Caroline Buchanan puts her bike into the main event.
That was actually a really good semi-final. Just put myself in a good gate choice so I can kind of be out of the carnage and managed to get out, have my best gate of the day and my on-point first straight. Nothing went wrong and got out in front and took the lead and had a great time. So fastest time leading into the final, first lane pick. Gonna go lane 1 and just going all out.
I'm going for that top spot again. You know, I want to be on top of the podium at the end of this weekend in Papendal, and I think it's definitely plausible. I've been pretty close to the last couple and, you know, had a few mistakes here and there that took me away from the top, but I think I'm ready to get up top there, and I'm really excited.
Here we go with the call for the semi, number 2. The gate's down. It does look like Elise Post harnessed all that power into the first straightaway. It's going to be Post, Smulders, and Brooke Crane, your top 3. So as we get out of the turn, Elise Post has got a good lead. Smulders, Brooke Crane in that 3rd place spot, and then 4th place is going to be a big battle between Amanda Carr and Amanda Geving. It's going to be a Post, Crane, Smulders, and Amanda Geving who move on in the program.
You can feel it right now. The Olympics are just on the corner and everybody's so happy about it, so excited, and it will be good.
After the women, the men made their way up the start hill for their round of semi-finals.
I try and train the way I want to race, so it's try and make it so it's just, there's no difference between training and racing. So every time I go out and ride my bike, I just switch on, it's all automatic.
Usually on a race week leading up, I just like to be really relaxed and just have fun at the hotel or have fun with the guys I'm hanging around. But at the BMX track, you know, it's all business. Our bodies know what to do. We've trained our bodies to do so. Sometimes it's better not to think at all and just go for it.
Get a good start, get to the first turn first, and stay smooth around the track. You know, I have a couple cues to motivate myself and to stay calm, and you know, those are just simple, but it's the same stuff I'm doing in practice.
It's just having fun doing what we started as kids when we loved it, and you just try to have a bit of fun with it again and take the pressure off.
The gate is down, and it looks like it's going to be Mark Willers He's going to get the whole shot.
I think a weakness is definitely my intensity after the first turn. I somehow I can throw down anything or everything that I've got to the first turn and then kind of get stuck in cruise control after that.
Mark Willers is in third, and believe you me, any track anywhere I would not want to be third on is this one. Sam Willoughby finally gets over the hip jump safe and clean. David Herman's behind him. Mark Willers is pulling away just a little bit. Joris Daudet goes down. That tells you how tough. That fourth place spot's going to be between Tori Nyhog and Brian Kirkham. It's going to be crazy going into this last turn. Brian Kirkham gets an elbow from Tori Nyhog, and that ends his day, but the day is all going to be to Sam Willoughby.
To me it was tough, and it was always going to be tough with that draw, and it set me up good for the main.
These athletes that are in our program, you know, they're based on results. So a lot of times they'll come in, sometimes when they don't perform, you know, the next person comes in. So there's no sense of entitlement, you kind of earn your take. This is going to be a long trip for us. We're gone for 3 weeks, but I've got a great staff and the athletes all get along well, so we're looking forward to today's final.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
It's going to be some crazy race action as we get this men's semifinal underway.
I was in second coming out of the first turn, and then the step up the second straight, I think that the Dutch guy passed me, and then I think I was in third, but a couple other guys were right behind me, and I think it was a close finish.
And now Twan Van Gent's doing his best to get next to the machine and show him how his machine runs.
Fighting with the big gun, 17-year-old junior rider Carlos Ramirez of Colombia qualified through in semi number 2, with local hero Twan Van Gent taking the win.
The race was pretty hectical. The gate wasn't perfect. I was like sandwiched between Coloron and Strombergs. I came out the first turn pretty nicely, on the edge on the outside, but good enough. And then a crossover, I felt I had more speed. So I took the inside line, passed the riders in one turn, and yeah, it felt great coming out as first in a semi-final on third straight. And I could keep it in first until the finish line, and I'm really pumped, really stoked.
It's the first time I ever qualified to Supercross main event. Like, I'm so stoked right now. Don't believe it, but like, just gonna go out and have fun in that main event, enjoy it.
I'm so happy that Carlos is in the final. He's just a junior. He's so impressive. Like, we are happy for him, and I know he's gonna be all right at the final.
The feeling of winning in Norway really reminded me that feeling is what I'm chasing. You know, that's what I want. That's what I wake up for. What I train for. A feeling of winning and overcoming those challenges, and being in 7th position and thinking that you're done, and then being in second and still thinking you're not going to take the win, and when you come back you really do surprise yourself, and all that training and all that hard work and effort, it all pays off.
Caroline has been so consistent. Elise is doing really good, so maybe I'm going for both of them.
The women's competition looked intense as the gate full of contenders got ready for the main event.
The gate's down, and it looks like it's going to be a consistent start, and it looks like Brooke Crane's going to pop out on the end.
I know that I had a little extra motivation when I wasn't leading that first straight, and I'd known all weekend long I'd been having really strong first straight, so I knew I had it in me, and I'd done it in practice and knew I was the only girl that had done that, and it was definitely a make it or break it move. And yeah, I definitely was high in the air, but I saw myself go from, you know, definitely some riders in front of me to just clear in the first turn, and I was really happy I did it then.
Caroline Buchanan on the inside. Elise Post is going to be there. She airs out that triple, and she's going to take that. It was an incredible run, and let's see if that's going to pay off. But Elise Post just passed Caroline Buchanan, who's in that second place spot, with Letitia Lee-Corgay in third.
But what an amazing triple jump was that from Elise Post. She saved it all day to pull it off in a final, and it looks like she's pulling away from Caroline Buchanan, who's in second position at the moment.
So as we said, those Olympic dreams and aspirations might have just came true for Elise Post, because as she's going to take the victory, she's going to come, and Caroline Buchanan's able to come back for second, but Elise Post wins the main event with the most incredible first straightaway we've seen today.
Once I got into the final, I was geeing myself up for that triple. I wasn't sure if anyone was going to do it, and coming into it, I seen Elise right above me, and from there I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'm going to get back from this, but she pulled away a little bit and then tried to reel her in again and got pretty close to her on the line, but she managed to take the win, and I'm stoked for her.
It wasn't my strongest first straight I've had. I was banging bars here and there, and I guess it was kind of that moment of, well, I need something to get my, get out in front. I need to make it or break it moment, and I'd hit that triple in practice, and I was just like, well, here we go, and I sent it, cleared it, and hung on for the ride.
Sometimes you're on a roll, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're in that mediocre stage where you could go either way, and I think the good athletes or the good competitors are the ones that can adapt to them situations and always put on that game face for them different situations.
I knew I'm going to pick line 8 in the main, and I was really focused going up there, and then I knew I can win the race.
It's amazing how much harder you can and how much faster you can go when there's more than just a moto on the line. You just got to dig deep and really put it together.
I had a difficult route to get to the main. I had a lot of good riders, and so I was comfortable riding the track with guys like Joris and Sam and Mark.
Then came the men. With their final chance to accumulate points at a World Cup event, the pressure was on.
The gate is down, and it's going to be the machine from lane 8. He's got an incredible start, but Sam Willoughby's got his machine running too.
I was starting on the outside all day, so coming out of that first turn, I might have been on the outside for the second straight, but that set me up perfect for the hip jump. I rode the line that I had been riding all week.
Twan van Genden, forward position. Oh my God, he gets hooked up by somebody and Twan goes down. But it's Mara Stromberg leading it out at the moment.
Sam Willoughby is stalking him, and let's see how he gets through this turn. David Herman's on his heels, but it looks like Mara Strombergs, if he doesn't have any problems here, is going to be going for it. I know Tori Nyhawk just again crashes in the last turn. It's not what he wanted.
Canadian hopeful Tori Nyhawk took a nasty fall on the third straight.
I know what Mara Strombergs wanted. I talked to him the other day. He said he saved himself to win this race.
It's not all about the first straight anymore. You have to be good and consistent on the track. And Sam almost got me. He almost passed me in the finish line, but I'm glad he didn't.
Today was probably one of the best days I've ever had racing Supercross mentally. I woke up and I was ready to race. As the day progressed, my legs felt great, and mentally I was right where I needed to be.
I can't explain how good it feels to finally win one of these things. Now, I've always been right there, always been a strong rider, but never really quite put it together, and I think that come back and be seeing the gains from training and everything that's paid off this year, I'm so happy. I feel like I'm putting it together when I need to right now, and I guess there's no better feeling than that.
I'm happy. Norway came from behind. This race I was leading down the first straight, so I'm just happy that I'm putting it all together. My first straight's coming together, my endurance is good, my time trials are good, so coming into Worlds, I couldn't be in a better place.
I think it couldn't have come at a better time, 3 seconds in a row going into the World Championships and going in feeling good. So let my wounds heal, so to speak, and come into Birmingham feeling fresh and repaired and ready to put it together at the end of the day.